Hello friends, welcome back to another video. In this video, as you can see, we're going to talk about Pink Floyd today. It's a second video in a press review video that I deal with Pink Floyd albums, and this time we're going to be talking about Wish You Were Here. I have 6 albums, Wish You Were Here, different pressings. I want to show you the difference. I want to show you all the inserts that came with each country, which album is rare, which album is easier to find, and in the end I will talk about the sound. I've listened to all 6 albums and I will tell you my so-called non-professional opinion how they sound. So first of all, let's begin with which pressings I have. The standard German pressing, Austrian Club Edition, Italian pressing, Japanese half-speed master, Israel quadraphonic, and the rarest by far, Uruguay. Now, Wish You Were Here is the 9th Pink Floyd album released in 1975, and it's a second in the 5 consecutive albums where Roger Waters wrote all the lyrics. And this is the final album in 20 years where Richard Wright got his writing credits. He will get his next writing credits only in 1994, almost 20 years later. So for me, this album marks the end of classic Pink Floyd era, because Animals and Pink Floyd are already Waters' domination. The cover was designed by Hypnosis, and the topic of the album is absence. Everybody knows that the song Shine on a Crazy Diamond was dedicated, and it's a tribute to Syd Barrett. And there is a famous story that during the mixing of that song, he actually came into the studio. And first the band didn't recognize him, and then when they did, it was a very sad moment. The cover depicts 2 men shaking hands, and one of them is burning in flames, which means absence. He's not here. This music is talking about Syd Barrett's tribute, the music industry, and the main topic is absence. Now, this is the front cover. This is the back cover. A man standing on the sand with no hands and no legs, with the masked face and holding a record. That's a show business. Then the album comes with this inner sleeve that we see a veil on the valley, and then we have a lyrics here and the diver. And this rarest part of this issue is actually this postcard of the diver. Just notice he doesn't have a splash. And this is the real postcard. Designer of this cover, Storm Thorgerson, he said that the cover itself depicts the absence. What did he mean by that? If you take this cover, which is in the black sleeve, and you cut here and take out the record, this cover remains inside. So if you never take the cover out of this black sleeve, you will never see the actual cover of the album. And this is the absence. I think it's a brilliant idea. Now, this is the German press. And if you take the record, you see the black cover. And here inside, we have the actual cover. But I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to take it out. So I will never see which cover is in here. Still, we have the inner sleeve with the veil and the same diver. And I have another postcard. This is already a German postcard. It doesn't have waves on the edges. And here we have 4 parts: the fire, the earth, the wind, and the water. And we have 2 metallic hands shaking hands. Very cool logo, actually. This is the only cover that I have which is in a black foley, and it's a German one. Here is the standard label that depicts those 2 metallic hands shaking, and we have just standard information. The track listing, the credits, catalog number, and right society. Next one, the Japanese half-speed master. It has different cover with the man looking differently, and the shade here is different, and the angle of the cover is also different. It comes with this inner insert. It's just a standard company insert of half-speed mastering, and naturally it has the insert. It's not the inner sleeve, that's an insert, the same as the others. But this time it comes on a red Columbia label. Beautiful, beautiful record. This is Israeli cover. It's a yellow cover, and it has this sticker on it, which is a bit bad because the burning side of the picture is hidden. But anyway, it's interesting. The back is the same. It came with the same inner sleeve, no difference. It comes on the same label, but it has less information than the German or Italian. It is only the track listing with no credits, with no rewrite society, nothing. Plain, empty. But on the matrix runout groove, we have the letter Q, which means it's a quadraphonic. And it's a very interesting Israeli quadraphonic issue. But I have to admit that I was a bit disappointed, but I'm going to talk about it later. Another very interesting pressing. This is a club edition from Austria. Now, it's very interesting here that usually it says here club edition with C, but here we have club edition with K. That's a very interesting one. It has the same inner sleeve, no difference here. I have actually another extra inner sleeve, so doesn't matter. But this one, the record, is on blue Columbia label. And it says here it's made in Austro-Mechana. And it says here Club Sonderauflage, but the club is with C, as you can see on the picture. And it says made in Austria. Now, I checked, and this one goes for a couple of hundreds euros. Now, what's interesting about this one, that actually also came in a black foley sleeve, and somebody cut this logo from it and glued it inside. So that's a shame. And by far the rarest and the most unique issue of Wish You Were Here, excuse my voice, I'm a bit cold, is the Uruguay pressing that actually goes for 500 euros, but I found it very cheap. Once again, the seller didn't know what he was selling. It's the only one that it's a gatefold, because it has so many pictures and so many inserts. They decided to go in one piece. It's a blue one, and it's a printed logo, it's not a sticker. From a back there is nothing, but when you open the gatefold, you actually have the second version cover, a Japanese cover, and you have here the one side of the inner sleeve. You don't have a man standing in the suitcase in the record, and you don't have a veil. So still, some things are missing. But it's a very unique cover. I've never seen this cover again. And the record is on CBS label. On orange CBS label. Quite unique. Now, I don't have Spanish or UK or Greece versions. I had ones from East Germany, GDR, but it's a very boring cover. It's the black cover just printed, and there are no inserts and nothing, and on the back there is just a text. There is nothing interesting. Now talking about the sound wise, out of all 6, I was really surprised with the Uruguayan pressing. It's one of the best. Sometimes Latin American pressings, especially with the Beatles records, are not as good as the European ones, but here I was really surprised. You have everything, high frequency, low frequency, clarity, everything's there. Now, Germans, usually, it's also on the top. There is nothing to complain about Germans. Austrian and Italian are not as loud as the previous 2. Now, what I was really disappointed with Israeli, I thought that quadraphonic is going to be best quality, but I have to admit that high frequencies are cut. Once again, the voice, the vocals is not as clear. It's once again, I always come back to this reference. It's like the microphone was covered with something. And why they do that, I do not understand. But you have loud basses. I had to reduce actually my basses in order to make it balanced. So that was a bit disappointment. And the cover is also a bit disappointing. But anyway, so I put it in my last place. But as you might have already guessed, the number 1, by far, the best pressing is Japanese half-speed master. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Even with my 2 speakers, professional speakers, and the amplifier, with everything, it's like a surrounding. It's like you are there. It's like you hear it in the studio. So by far, the best pressing that you can find of Wish You Were Here, in my opinion, you go with Japanese half-speed master. I mean, it's the clearest copy that I've listened to. I mean, if I want to enjoy the album, I always go to this. I always listen to this one. This is my number 1. Uruguayan German number 2, Austrian Italian number 3, and Israeli goes the last one. This is my personal opinion. You may agree with me or disagree with me. You may like this video or dislike this video. You may comment and write me in the comment section below which pressing do you have and you like the most. Now, I do not have the UK pressing, so you out there who has UK pressing, please tell me the sound. What do you think of it? But for me, in my 6 copies, I always go with the Japanese one. Now, take a moment and try to guess which albums are going to be next in my press review video. Which Pink Floyd albums are going to be next? If you know the answer, write me in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. That was my short video, my opinion on my Wish You Were Here albums. Bye bye.